So just want to say welcome everyone to the final WonderZoo of the year. Unfortunately, our usual amazing competitor is not feeling too good tonight. She might be with us later, she might not. But I want to say a big thank you to her. Everything from here, she stepped in for us when we really needed someone, and she's been amazing. What am I going to say next? Yeah, so what it's all right. I was thinking, yeah, what a year it's been. Well, I've loved it. Yeah, we would not have imagined when we did our first gig of the year in January that we'd be here now, online, not having hugged each other for far too long. But through this, WonderZoo has definitely expanded. We've met a lot of people from different areas who are performing with us. People like the lovely Tia Meraki, who is from north of Devon, who's with us tonight. We have seen her live a couple of times, luckily, but the hugs have still not happened. And Xeno, who has come to us. We don't usually run open mic, but people who have come to us this time who we've not met before. So they should
a pleasure to be here.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and Xeno's stuff looks great online. Can you post have you got a YouTube channel? Can you post that on the link? I
haven't got a YouTube, but there are videos on my Facebook page.
Oh,
I'll pop the link in for you now.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're finishing off tonight with an Orthodox priest who does heavy metal. So
electronic metal.
Electronic metal. I think. Okay. Well, we shall see. It's pretty mind-blowing as a finale, I should imagine. So yeah, and
well, if there's any after that,
yeah,
anyone that hasn't been formed are welcome to stay on and do one poem each.
Yeah.
Pending if we got Live Aid 2020, and then obviously if there's 70,000 people, we'll be here for a few years. But we're willing to do it, and we're willing to turn into skeletons.
Yeah, we're all up for that.
I'm bionicle.
I'm going to kick the evening off with something which isn't. Oh, hi, Chrissy. Sorry, Chrissy is our next act.
Oh, I like Chrissy.
Yeah, so I'm going to kick the evening off with a poem I wrote about an hour ago. And anyone who's heard me read before, it's usually very traumatic and upsetting and horrible. But this is a bit of a soppy one. Because I was speaking to my sister yesterday and she said I'd never write about her. So I did, out of pure younger sibling spite. I wrote a poem about her. Your beauty, your cheekbones and gorgeous dresses and vibrant hair with our grandmother's eyes. Your intelligence, so quick and sharp, books and music devoured, delicate drawings and a shared passion for language. Your caring. You held me when I was small, changed my nappies, there for me like no one else. The deepest love. Your laughter, sneaking into my room at night, giggling until it hurt to breathe, making everything bad disappear. You're like me and I'm like you. No one else could ever be my sister, because no one else would help me bury my goldfish. Sorry, the goldfish thing. The goldfish thing is a secret joke, and my sister will know what I mean. Right, well, that was me. And now could we go on to our next performer, who is the wonderful Chrissy Banks. Hey, Chrissy. If
Hi.
Hi. That'd be great.
Okay, so this is my first time here at WonderZoo. I've frozen. Okay, I hope that's not going to happen to me, but who knows?
Better now. I think your connection was just having a bit of a fit.
Yeah. So I'm going to kick off with quite a recent poem. In fact, the title is November the 5th, 2020, and it's a poem kind of celebrating the power of fire. And this year particularly, I've been thinking like Guy Fawkes probably had the right idea blowing up Parliament. So that's kind of in there as well. And also I've been thinking about communities quite a lot with with lockdown and just that feeling of coming together with people, which has been, for me anyway, such a long time, except on Zoom. So November the 5th, 2020. Here's a stick for a spark that kindles a belly laugh, or a flicker of words to warm cold hearts. Here's a cauliflower head of paper scrunched for a finger of fire to reach for the dark night sky, for light to flare, this day of division, this bonfire night, this year of the plague. Here's a pile of leaves from the garden, too sodden and sullen to catch, but here are firelighters, a match, twig, log and branch, some cardboard to raise flame, hope snuffed out so easily if a clinging drizzle should fall. Here's fuel for a blaze to burn whoever you choose in effigy, an orange balloon man or yellow-haired clown, a fire to erase the suit of Westminster's turned back. Here's a box of rockets to send stars to the sky for those ground down to a husk. Here's yesterday's news screwed up to raise the heat of our voices, to speak of this century's people locked out. Here's the light of a fire to chase away shadows, a fire to melt the ice in a frozen heart. Here is the old, old comfort of flame for us to gather around in a ring, a fire for us all. And now this is also a poem set at night. This is Starry Night, which title is nicked from Van Gogh's painting. I don't know if you know that one with the really deep blue sky and the swirly stars. So if you can imagine that kind of night and a bit of a party atmosphere, and you go outside. Starry Night. We stumble from the house, soul dizzy on a spell of music, wine and dance, shared secrets in the unslept hours. And the stars are a stopped fountain in the gasping sky. The world spun upside down as I tried to funnel these spilled jewels into the well of myself. I am possessed with wings as full of crazy light as any angel here under the stars, a shattering distance from who I was before this evening took me in its spinning fist. These are the stars, the same ecstatic stars Van Gogh once painted in his maddest hour. I'm going back in time now. This poem is for anyone who had a bad experience as a child having their hair cut. A horrible haircut of childhood. I remember the horrible haircuts, trapped in the chair, tied up in a nylon gown, condemned to watching it happen, mute, full face in the mirror. Like viewing your own execution while the serial hair killer witters about holidays, school, the weather, pretending there's no ritual sacrifice going on as she shreds you with eager scissors. My hair was never that long in the first place, and the short, blunt cut was always wrong, the way a pair of curtains hung but chopped in half are wrong. My face, stripped naked, too plainly showed I longed to die quickly, all hiding places gone. And I've got to look at the time when I started, but I think I've got time for one more. Okay, so I grew up in the Isle of Man, and I lived there till I was 18. And then for many years, we would go back over Christmas or New Year. And the best fun was getting the ferry from Liverpool to the Isle of Man, or from the Isle of Man to Liverpool over Christmas or New Year, when things got very boozy. And it was wonderful for people watching. I'm a great people watcher. So this is ferry across New Year. Oh, and I should mention, because this is, you know, because I'm knocking on a bit and this is going right back in time, it references Beetles and Bubbles, and that's Volkswagen Beetles and bubble cars, which were around in the 60s and 70s. Ferry across New Year. They boarded in convoys, on snorting machines, singly in lorries, rattle-down vans in Beetles and Bubbles, on foot, on crutches, heaving suitcases, rucksacks, a panting dog. The bikers in leathers, button-eyed, twistly bearded, perfumed with ale and petrol, tattooed under their hides with blue mermaids, black devils, snaky skin graphics. The leggy girls from Liverpool, long-lashed, lush-lipped, hair tossers, hip swingers, quick-witted teasers and twisters. Minis under maxis, some slant boy on their mezzled minds. The bar lovers, red-cheeked, bow-legged, sloshing the hard stuff down till the boats, tilting and tossing, the way to the bog a slalom. The end of it all, green faces. The mothers shushing, feeding and soothing, or screeching at their little wailers, their squealing jack-in-the-box, can't stop, won't stop sparklers. The siren is booming, the whole caboodle carried away on the waves, none of them knowing come this time next year who will be famous or ruined, who will be lost or saved. Thanks, everyone. Really looking forward to hearing the music and the words from everyone else.
Thank you, Chrissy. That was brilliant. Anyone would like to unmute themselves or do a phantom clap? That was great. Thank you.
Bravo, Chrissy.
Just looking at the comments, the hair one I think affected a few of us, and I said, why do you think my hair's so long? I won't get it, even now. Yeah, and Xeno has said really well done, and Margaret, stunning. That was brilliant, Chrissy. Thank you so much. Our next person is Tia, joining us from North Devon. So if you could all mute yourselves, that would be great.
Am I unmuted? I think I am.
You are unmuted. We can hear you.
That's a good start. So yeah, I was meant to get my hair cut today actually, because it's gotten stupidly long. And then I missed the appointment. I thought it was at 11. It was actually at 10. So yeah, it stays, but it's nowhere near as bad as the bad haircuts I had when I was young. This is a song called Reverie. And I haven't actually sung at all this year, apart from the 2 WonderZoo gigs that I did in Plymouth. So yeah, I'm hoping I can still do it. Chasing white gold trails beaming in the sun across the storm gray sea. There's something here that we barely begun. Don't know what it is, but it's calling to me. All of those times we've seen more we can stand up. Thoughts fell too deep when we learned to in violet warmth will see stars smiling down on them wayward daughter. All of those lines we've been drawing in the sand, they're just memories to keep when we still can't play in time with the men. No, I still can't play in time with the men. Into these words, heart spilling out into empty space. No, you know that sometimes it hurts. I'm looking for saving grace. All of those times we've seen what we can stand up. Thoughts fell too deep when we learned to run before we could stand. Yeah, we learned to run before we could stand. All of those lines we've been drawing in the sand, they're just memories to keep when we still can't play in time with the men. No, I still can't play in time with the men. But it's alright now, darling, just take my hand. Alright now, darling, just take my hand. Yeah.
Wow.
The inside joke there for any musicians in the audience is that it's in 7/8, and I really struggled to actually stay in 7/8 through the whole song. And I didn't know what 7/8 was when I wrote it, so this is kind of how I learned about time signatures. And apologies to any non-musicians that just sounded like a bunch of gobbledygook too. So this is something that I wrote, gosh, three and a bit years ago now. So I quit my job, left my house, and went to South America to go and meet my father for the first time since I was like yay high, which, as you can imagine, was a slightly overwhelming experience in a lot of ways. And yeah, I struggled at the time to kind of find the words. So this is my attempt at finding some of the words. And it's called Compass. Serene on the surface, duck feet paddling away. My tongue stutters when I'm nervous, words falling by the way. Been busy making headspace, space for my heart. Painted a happy face, and brush strokes and called it art. Now I'm trying to stay true to my cause, true to my cause. Chest filling up and spilling out across my face. I'm angry, elated, out of time and out of place. Skin like sand, damp cheeks, salty eyelashes. Try to call each moment by name, but this floods, it comes in flashes. I'm trying to true to my cause, true to my cause. Pulling up roots, just starting to take hold, treading life in a greenhouse, the creature comforts in the cold, then starting to wonder if my love for freedom's my cage. Don't want to be so far from home, alone in my old age. So I'm trying to stay true to my cause, true to my cause. Yeah, so obviously that was a bit emotion heavy. So the flip side of things that tie into that story, one of the things that happened whilst I was living over there was that I found a live scorpion living in my fridge in a bag of spinach, which had been there for 3 days that I'd already eaten half of. Somehow I managed not to get stung. So as my father said at the time, that it was 3 times lucky. The one who picked the spinach didn't get stung. The one who put the spinach on the shelves didn't get stung, and I also didn't. So yeah, so I wrote this short poem. It's called Il y a un scorpion dans mes épinards. There is a scorpion in my spinach. Lone wolf finding her pack, woven into her heart. Horizons stretched, ready to run. These wings aren't clipped, they're flying far. No wax to melt in the sun. Mais attendez un moment, parce qu'il y a un scorpion dans mes épinards. Et où est hier ce nom devant? Une pente entre tous les autres jours de notre histoire. Constellations mapped in each freckle and scar. Each day a new tale began. So this one is for Lesley the Lizard Queen, who is one of the 2 people that I can see on my screen because I've got put it into gallery view. So it's my little tribute to Coyote. So for those of you who don't know, Coyote is like one of the trickster spirits of Native American folklore. So he's the one who's kind of plays lots of pranks, gets himself in trouble, mostly gets other people in trouble. But he's also the one who turns things on their heads when things need to be turned on their heads, and maybe finds solutions to problems that others might not spot. So he was the one who called down, well, sort of orchestrated the stealing of fire from the fire beings at the top of the mountain when he saw us humans shivering with our lack of fur, although plenty of hair in 2020. But anyway, so yes, this is my little tribute to Coyote. I've forgotten the first line of it. I know it. It's called When We Were Nomads, and the first line is When We Were Nomads. When we were nomads, and in the firelights, chasing coyotes' smoke trails across the sky. Well, trouble's always troubling, twists and turns tumbling, but we were never looking for the short road, or even sticking to the path. No sacrifice for a fixed abode, no claims to lay upon the heart, and pausing only in the firelights, chasing coyotes' smoke trails across the sky, enthralled to those flames flickering bright, and glad of that trickster's wife. Thank you. Like Chrissy, I didn't look at the time when I started, so Gabi, is that done? Have I got time for a song? What's the...
We think you should do one more.
Don't ask me, I'm just enjoying it.
I think the audience want one more.
Would the audience like one more?
Would the audience
Yes.
want
You
one more?
may unmute yourselves.
Yeah,
Well,
they would.
Lesley, you would. The last one was in praise of you.
Yes, one more.
Yeah, definitely more.
I must say,
Absolutely more.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, we love the Lizard Queen. And we love this. So yeah, one more please, Tia.
Anything the Lizard Queen says, we will do.
What shall we do as the last one? Cool. This is called The Martyr and the Clown. My lover blows out a candle, says sorry, broke my heart. But we both know that it was never his from the start. So break this down. I'm not a martyr, you're not a clown. Nights and days and months into years, still can't keep a lid on our fear. I'm pulling the threads now, wrapped us around. Sorry I let you leave me, but you always knew I'd leave. So break this down. I'm not a martyr, you're not a clown. Nights and days and months into years, still can't keep a lid on our fears. I'm done with this sacrifice. I'd rather roll the dice. You must be tired now. All you're pulling around. So break this down. I'm not a martyr, you're not a clown. Nights and days and months into years, still can't keep a lid on our fears.
I missed that Randall's time.
Just 1 second.
Cynthia, thank you so much.
I said to Gabby, she posted up, you remind me of Billy Bragg, but obviously a female version of Billy Bragg, with those really great sort of British folk songs.
Yeah,
Thank you,
that's great. We've also had Xeno said your voice is amazing. Reminds me of Gaga in Shallow in a Star, which is one I don't know. Although
It's the film that she did with Bradley Cooper.
Oh,
okay.
right.
Yeah, no, I used to listen to a lot of Gaga, but I've got out of it, and you've reminded me. I'm going to start doing that again.
Definitely watch the film.
I will find it. Thank you. From Veronica, who's on later, you have an amazing voice. Margaret, very moving. Ruben, great song. Lesley, magical, mesmerizing, and totally gorgeous. Basically, everyone loves you in the chat, Tia. Take a look.
If the Lizard Queen says that, you know you are amazing.
I know.
It's a very highly respected opinion, in my opinion.
It is. We all love the Lizard Queen.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, we have someone who is new to WonderZoo, who contacted us as a result for our call for open mic readers. So I'm very excited to announce Philomena Wynne. Are you with us, Philomena?
I thought I was number 5 to go on, but
You were. Someone else turned up and I'm trying to hide it.
well, I hope it will be
Sorry
exciting.
about that. No.
I am a singer-songwriter as well, but I'll do my poems tonight because
That would be great.
that's what you said on the list. Okay, folks.
Everyone can mute.
I've got my pink light here. Sorry?
Sorry, I was just asking everyone to mute themselves while you read.
Okay, so yeah. Okay, so I'm just starting with, some of them I know off by heart, but anyway, this is a little one I'll start off with called Time Ticks. Time ticks and the earth ticks with her alarm of change. Mother Earth is calling us to lie on her soft belly of grass, swim in our oceans and run naked in deep woods. Leave behind your paper and your desks and tick the box that says freedom. Went on the tall ships, probably early 2000, and I just got the inspiration to write this. There is a tall ship on the ocean, gliding on the Atlantic Sea. This silver shimmering full moon up above, guiding our way and setting us free. Lovely people on board, team spirit and support, breakfast, dinner and tea. Watch times, bell times, into port and out to sea. Time merging into one, plenty of good humour and having fun. Climbing Jacob's ladder into heavenly skies, and Stavros, like a peacock, it's the name of the ship, shows off her full-blown sails with pride. It's 2007. This is a women's poem. I wrote it during a very powerful menstruation in my 30s. And the energy when one is in that time, that space is incredible. Sometimes. Okay, here goes. Celebrating my womanhood. I celebrate my womanhood, a vast world, sacred and unknown, lost in his story, misinterpreted in his words, which recreated onto itself fear of my unknown. I celebrate my womanhood, the vastness of my creative space, which prepares for a life each cycle, for all the mothers gone before me and our daughters yet to come. Be with us now to celebrate our divine journey. No matter how much power does not appear to be ours, the truth and reality remain the same. The cycle of our earth is the cycle of our bodies, and from the mother and to the mother, we all shall go. I wrote this one in 98. It's transformed like the butterfly. I performed it. I had a lot of open mics, but I'm not going to perform it tonight. I forget it off by heart. Transform like the butterfly. Move the energy from good to bad, happy to sad, mad to glad. Let the energy move you, groove you, elude you. Your will soar beyond reality, beyond death, to a catalytic wholeness to become anew. Like the caterpillar changes into the butterfly, the leopard can change its spots. We too are internally changed from one moment to the next, to change into who we constantly become to be. Probably going a bit fast, am I? Okay. I've got two final poems. I wrote this one when I was 14. And it just goes to show, it was a depressed 14-year-old. I was brought up in Catholic Ireland, and the oppression was horrendous in the 60s, 70s. Thinking to yourself in the backgrounds of your mind, in the early hours of the morning, looking at your little hands that have lived with you all through your years. Your reflection in the mirror has changed through the years. You look back on the past when you were young and gay. The beauty of the world has passed you by, but still you do not want to die. You have had your good times and you have had your bad. The beauty of the world has passed you by, but still you do not want to die. Sorry, I'm repeating it. You have learned through experience what to do and what not to do, but it is too late now to know your faults. All your so-called friends have left you alone to wither and die. Tears roll down your tired out face. Don't leave me now, your weary voice stutters. I will not leave you never, a strange voice answers. For you have succeeded on your restless journey, and now you will be happy with me forever in paradise. The final poem is a poem I wrote when I earned my 120 credits to go on to higher education when I was in my middle 30s, and the words just came and it still live with me today, so I know this one off by heart. I am so rich in so many ways. It pays when I spend my days tearing down the walls of illusion that always leads to fear of the deep, discontented, disillusioned self to be who one's not. Forget, leave behind and be. The heart of your destiny lies not in walls, but far beyond your soul's desire to aspire towards dreams and realities not yet lived out. There is no limit on time and age. Get out of the cage, be yourself, walk tall, feel the force of life. You have it all. That's it.
Amazing.
Thank you.
So much, Philomena.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Brilliant impact.
Wow.
Just,
Amazing.
yeah,
Oh,
looking through the
Thank
gallery while you were reading, I saw so many entranced faces.
Yeah.
Yeah,
thank you.
wow, you're such a powerful writer and reader. From Hannah Linda, lovely to see and hear you again, been too long. Chrissy Banks was saying hello to you as well. Do you have somewhere we can follow you? Do you have a Twitter or a website or?
I'm very good at procrastinating. I have something for my wild weaving, but for this, I am actually working on a song to a professional level, which hopefully I can sing another time. So definitely I can create a Facebook page, but
Okay. Well, if you have something like that in the future, if you send
it's given me the inspiration to do that, in fact, because
yeah,
I'm just sorry, yeah.
Send that to us. We'll share it on the WonderZoo page on Facebook, or if you're not part of that, just email WonderZoo and we'll send it on. So yeah, that was great.
Thank you. I'm just coming back into it after a long break. So thank you, everyone.
That was brilliant. Thank you so much,
that was
Philomena.
wonderful. Thank you.
Awesome. Well done.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be on here. I'm so glad I responded. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, pleasure.
I don't know why you're waving your beer.
Oh, by the way, I barely ever drink, but I felt like it's last gig of the year, so I'm having a beer.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's been a long year for everybody.
Definitely.
I recommend everyone to have a cigarette, beer, smoke, or whatever it is your vice is tonight. You know.
Just done all three.
Yeah, prostitutes, heroin, crack cocaine, you know, whatever. It's 2020.
Maybe not them three though.
I didn't say that. All right, next on, we have another person who's new to us, and as I said, someone didn't turn up, so this lady has kindly jumped into the breach. I'm going to announce Edith Blackbird.
Hi everyone. Hello.
Hey, hello.
So good to see you and to be here. I'm so new here, so please bear with me. I'm kind of nervous. I'm originally from Mexico, living in the US right now, in the part of Texas. So we are in a heel thing here, still with the cold weather and all. So I'm gonna present you poetry, and it's a mixture of the Spanish and English poetry. It will be something in Spanish, some in English, and some both languages. So hope you like it, and thank you, everybody, and thank you for the host for having me and giving us this space to share. So with that in mind, I'm going with my first piece, which is The Grief to Mi Gente, and this will be bilingual. I grieve my lost childhood. Oh, my dear, penetrated by adulthood. Can you see my tears? ¿Ves mis lágrimas? Poderosa impotencia gravitating alrededor de mi niñez, to my childish corpse. I grieve the long gone. You know who. Extraño su pollo asado, his devotion to the sunrise, su fuerte olor a cigarro, even if my nose bleeds in confusion. Extraño su flan, oh, my dear. Su bata bordada, her dented wheelchair, hurt by the weight of surrender. Mientras aprieto su mano agonizante. Please, Grandma, please. Extraño su voz erosionada por la enfisema. His wounded child asking for warm soup, please, some. Sus largas caminatas sin sentido. His excitement when breathless fake fighting and be admired still, be cherished. I grieve my land, mi México, mi pobre país. Drowned in clouds of rice paper decoration in every square. Inundado en frescas flores en cada esquina. Drowned in missing people sheets in every single lamppost. Inundado en altares de muertos sin justicia en cada hogar. Drowned in rich spicy food smell from street markets out there. Inundado en coloridos sonidos nacientes en los mercados allá afuera. Drowned in injustice rotten perfume from clandestine graves. Oh my God, the smell is so rotten, so deeply inside. Inundado en bosques violados por la avaricia de los intocables de allá arriba, la élite. Drowned in hard-working souls who march to their duties every day. My people, mi gente, who must support corrupted leaders, politicians, voluntariamente a fuerzas o no. Partidos políticos que monopolizan las riquezas de mi país, mi México, including yours in the US, who chant to the microphones their truth made of lies. But don't forget to smile for the cameras, the powerful horde, just giving a wink. Un guiño suave y los ojos sobre todos y nadie al mismo tiempo. Políticos. Politicians, you hear me? Politicians, gobierno, government, falsos mesías, folks, messiahs, who like wrestlers, pretend to fight for us and still are admired. Yeah. Appreciated for people like me with hope who is falling into an empty pit. Apreciados por gente con esperanza como yo, en caída libre a la nada. Thank you.
Wow.
That was my first bit.
Wow, beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Powerful.
So this next poem is about wisdom, and I hope you like this one. This is in English totally. Inside your wisdom. Yesterday, listen to me, never dies. When wounds are kept aside, they'll crawl to your brain, scratching your spine. They leave scars inside your skin, in your soul, inside your bones, as bones dance within the body in a rhythm of denial, trying to protect your childhood in ashes already. What is left? Yesterday is within today. When traumas strike your muscles, your belly, my dear, oh, your belly, look at it. And you just looked away, justifying the pain with implanted weakness from someone who is not you. The guilt might appear underneath, may reflect the reasons why you keep letting others and even yourself twisting your no into a yes. Yes, do what you want, while putting your own head under someone else's foot, and let your fist knock on your own intuition. Where is it? Wake him up. Wake him up. That lives inside of life. It's part of ours every day. When livings sharpen their claws and their teeth to tear up their chest, opening black holes made of dark modern memories. Oh, those scary ones, those sad ones, those that we shouldn't live with, where others may get stuck and get lost forever by accident or not. That is alive. Yes, it is alive. It whispers to the lost children inside adult and snatched bodies. It closes down the border between pieces of meat who walk to oblivion every day and those who really wants to live. All of us. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? The ashes are still moving. Just embrace it. Inside your wisdom, those ashes are still moving. Inside your wisdom, because you know there's hope. You still have a finger out of the mud, children. Be a child. Thank you. Okay, that was my second one. I see my timing, so I still have time, I think. Right? Okay, thank you. I have this one. It's a little more romantic, so it's an English one. Hope you like it. The smell is bitter. Sneezing with the power of your lotion, my love, mi amor. Men flavor grain, men flavor powder, men flavor sweat. Oh, I can taste it. Once in bed, your spiciness catches my senses between the sheets. Oh, and your lovely skin. Black pepper style, love-making style, cabinet open smell of thirsty morning style, mine, my own, my love, mi amor. Taste of invaded palate by an explosive food style. Your tongue is my grinder. Makes me dust in between your fingers, your hands, your arms, your legs. Your tongue is my grinder. It makes me melt, oh, in the pit of my fantasies, behind doors, behind my iris, behind my lips and yours, behind your strong smile. Oh, my baby. The king arised from the ashes of black pepper inside this queen's legs. Thank you so much.
Wow.
So that was my last one.
Wow.
Oh, amazing.
That
Wonderful.
was fantastic. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
Passion, so much passion.
Oh,
Huge passion. I have to say, I have no idea
amazing.
who Edith is. We did an open mic and she contacted me on Facebook. So that could have gone two ways. But that was amazing. Thank you so
Fantastic.
much.
Mm.
And
Absolutely beautiful.
in the comments, we've got so much passion in your work. Qué emocionante, me encanta. I'm absolutely in love with this, me encanta. Powerful, strong and sure. Works really well, the English and Spanish together. Again, have a look at the comments because you are very loved there. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
And,
wonderful, wonderful. I loved it.
yeah, and hopefully we'll see you again. Thank you. Next up as our headliner of the first half, we have Jonathan Spurling, who is a singer-songwriter from Plymouth. Hi, Jonathan.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound good.
Not too loud?
No.
Christmas.
You're
Slightly
you've got
different.
Christmas wallpaper.
Yes, that's my backdrop. I made a big effort.
Oh, that's amazing.
I got a little friend of Peter here as well. I thought he'd like.
Oh, nice.
We've got a Christmas theme going on.
Very nice.
Yeah, I was hoping tonight would be slightly different because I've got a young lady called Eleanor who plays violin with me sometimes, and she was due to come, but unfortunately she can't make it now.
Oh, okay.
Because also I want to dedicate this evening's my little spot to Rachel Bleak, who, as some of you may know, passed away recently, and it was a funeral yesterday, and I was so amazed because there was a procession that went from her house to the church, St. Jude's Church, and it was massive, and also people waiting outside. Obviously only about 30 people go in the church itself, but if anyone knows about Scrap Store and the work that Rachel did there, still carries on, obviously.
Jonathan, she made some handmade flowers.
Fabric flowers.
Fabric flowers we made for the coffin.
And that was such a lovely idea because Rachel was all about taking things and using them. And I don't know if all of you know what a scrap store is, but Rachel used to run the one in Plymouth. And it's basically people bring all sorts of plastic, fabric, all sorts of things, which are then put out and made into stuff.
So some of the artists in Stonehouse, including Chi and that, got together and separately, obviously, made out of fabric flowers instead of real flowers and laid it on the coffin.
And yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Jonathan.
Beautiful lady.
Fantastic person. Always supported WonderZoo, always done loads of stuff for us in the background. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yes, I was hoping I'll be able to play some bit of Irish gigs with Eleanor, but unfortunately she's not here. Sarah may join us shortly, and I'm going to do one of my more recent songs I've been working on. I don't think it's even got a title, but we'll see what happens. When the struggle going on, who can be calm when the hard line is being torn out? Today they bring rumors of war, what people trying to get through that narrow door. Yellow shoots of springtime flowers today may bring me to you. But you probably disappear tomorrow. Who can be content with the struggle going on? Who can be calm when the heart that is being torn out? Thank you. Thank you very much. Right, an older song about love. I'm just going to swap my guitar, thank you.
A mother's Christmas. This mother hopes that special toy will still be on the shelf. That mother hopes that tomorrow we will still have breath. One hopes that Mum will not judge the roast potatoes and that family will be love. And she hopes there will be any family left amongst the rubble and despair, and that despair will release them for a chance at one more day. This mother hopes that Suey will like the pink pyjamas and Jade will like the lilac and Mum won't criticise the sprouts and Joey won't be sick. Another mother hopes that Ahmed won't be dead and Aisha won't be raped and an unknown hand will stir and stretch 1,000 miles to place a sparkling garland around her life. That someone somewhere will drink a sweet cup of wakefulness and then offer her the same. A mother's Christmas is hope. Please let Hannah be Mary. Please let them sleep till 6. Please let the pudding light and only a few pounds this year, not half a stone like last. Please let them wake up. Please let them eat. Please stop the rain. Please let them not be taken and dragged into the swirling, unforgiving dark. Please let throwaways become giveaways. And ever, 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 please let there be love. And please let Christ and Muhammad and any others of their kind share a glass and pull a cracker and save each other that last golden penny. Our mother's eyes open on Christmas Day and every day because of hope. Thank you.
Okay, just to finish up.
Okay. Hope you could hear it.
Thank you,
We
Sarah.
did, Sarah. The sound improved halfway through, so I think we did now.
Okay.
I have to sort of say that Sarah and Jonathan are really important people in Plymouth because Jonathan had created the Freedom Fields Festival, which is a fantastic festival for local musicians and artists in Plymouth. And unfortunately, it didn't happen this year, but I know it'll come back. And Jonathan's done outstanding work in the community to bring artists, you know, stages and events on in Plymouth in a way that a lot of other people haven't done. And I'd like to say thanks to Sarah for all the amount of work you do at Union Corner, feeding the needy and the homeless and supporting them. So I just want you to know that we really, from our perspective, really respect you two so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
That's
you.
nice.
And same to you, Pete.
Same to you guys.
Time's
We've
over.
got time for one more song, or?
Yes, please.
Definitely.
We're going to do one Christmas song just to, it's a bit of a mix, this one. I think there's been some problems tonight with internet connections because ours was playing up earlier on, so it could be a combination. Anyway, this is one of my favourites. So this is Christmas, and what have you done? Another year over, you have just begun. So this is Christmas, I hope you have fun, the near and the dear one, the old and the young. Sing along at home. A merry, merry Christmas and a happy new year. Let's hope it's a good one without stop all the fight. A merry, merry Christmas and a happy new year. Let's hope it's a good one without any fear. A merry, merry Christmas and a happy new year. Let's hope it's a good one without any fear. Thank you. Thank you.
Merry Christmas, everyone, and happy season, whatever that is.
Thank you.
He hates Christmas. You've broken him.
No,
He's gone wrong.
I'm an anarchist. I don't celebrate Christmas. But for once,
He
Jonathan,
did then.
if you were Santa Claus, I would be worshipping you as Santa Claus.
Hello, Dave. Hello. Hello, Peter. How are you doing?
For my Christmas night, I'm not getting you your doll. All right, everyone, we are going to a
Just
10-minute break
Pete's
because he's got a doll.
Hello, Jonathan. Thank you for that. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
10 minutes, people. It's 8:40. Come back at 8:50. If Slane's dead afterwards, I didn't do that, right? Alibi. Thank you.
See you in 2 minutes. Get a
10
get
minutes.
a pee and a
Yeah,
beer
have
and a drink.
pee, get a beer, do
And
what
see
you
in
need
10
to do.
minutes.
Everyone who's pretending they're not watching MatCam at this point, as we all have been, it is now 8:50. The break has ended.
Is everyone there?
Finish voiding your waste fluids. Finish making your hot beverages
And your beers.
or
and your-
alcoholic beverages.
And your smokes or naughty things beyond that.
Come back to us because we have the one, the only.
Slane.
Click the keyboard. Slane McGough Davey.
Yeah, I've reformed.
Who is going to treat us to?
Is there actually one there? Is it?
No, no one's there, so go for it.
Is only Matt? Is it? It's
just Matt.
And looks like the lizard.
But we're live streaming his performance on MatCam.
I'm here too, says Hannah Lee. Who else is here? I love it if everyone sort of said a nod or hello or a wave or something.
I'm here.
Woo! Brilliant.
Stop being an attention seeker.
I'm not. And who is it? Can I ask? The beautiful Mexican woman. I've forgotten her name. Blackbird.
Edith Blackbird.
Are you there as well?
Is Edith still with us?
Is Edith?
You can actually just look.
Can we just look?
See. There you go. Edith is with us, but she doesn't want to see us.
Oh, Edith, I don't want to see you. I think you're wonderful, personally. I mean,
all right.
Not, you know.
Read your poetry.
Right, so I'm going to do a couple fun ones. No offence here, Matt Thomas. This is called Adelaide Street, but not taken from the city council point of view, taken from actually observing living in Stonehouse in the last
Adelaide Street is
4.5 years.
the street we're in at the moment. One of the most deprived areas of Plymouth.
Yeah, it is. And me and Matt Thomas, the great Matt Thomas, who's going to be making millions from his
star of MatCam.
Of MatCam, his new art form is me and Matt. Anyway, we do Adelaide Street Angels. So this is not for public use of Adelaide Street Angels. This is actual use of someone that lives in the street and has observed 4.5 years of living here. So any offence taken, that's fine. So it's called 4 years of living here. Adelaide Street. Yes, some say Adelaide Street. Some say Adelaide Street in Stonehouse. Adelaide Street is a playful place flanked by cobbled lanes of spaces between the history books of war and the baseball bat. Yes, that baseball bat, that rainbow colours that decimate whispers and gossip and play, calm away the cats and birds that play by using the baseball bat. Flock together with stockings leaping high with another scream. Every night, another scream in the street. It's to break the never-ending silence like there's ever silence in Adelaide Street. Screams of fuck you, fuck you, fuck you is the normal thing I hear every single day. But hey, it's Adelaide Street. Hey, it's the screams of fuck you. It's a home zone of hoodies. There's a home zone of hoodies. They're hyped up penguins with no snow. Hip hop and cars whizzing by with sweet smell of Mary Jane. Mothers watch children play, laughing, running, sliding, singing and swinging in play. Parents worn to a frizzle, no rest in play here. Hey, sunset's grace, reeling to find another blowjob against my fucking gate. Hey, up against the gate, silk and smooth stockings doing this on the gate, doing this on the gate, doing this on the gate, doing this on the gate. Can you just fucking find somewhere else, please? But up against the gates and silk smooth stockings like a milkshake gone wrong, we don't need to go there. It's a fake world of likes and comments on Facebook. But you know what? I'm going to put some toast on, but I forgot the butter.
Wow.
I have to qualify that, mainly because I'm his best friend, so you know, I can't appreciate what he does. I just have to destroy it. When I first moved to Adelaide Street, I'd grown up in Brixton in South London, which is a little different. And my ex was, how should we put it, a little bit posh. And he was quite terrified of moving to Adelaide Street. And I spent, well, let's be honest, I've spent about 15 years playing him Gangster's Paradise by Coolio. Because Adelaide Street is lovely.
Adelaide Street is what you make it. That's what they say in the press.
I'll let you carry on. I don't promise not to intervene again.
I have two more and then I'm done. So this is called, and this is not a drill. This is about the first lockdown. Thank you for saying about Julian. Oh God, I lost it. What did you say? John Cooper Clarke.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm totally influenced by John Cooper Clarke. And he's fantastic. So this is called This Is Not a Drill. This is about the first lockdown. Liddles and tin pots and ad cartons and endless drilling, like an echo drilling in my head, drilling in my head, drilling in my head, echo, echo, drilling in my head, echo, 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 drilling in my head. Eco warrior, queen gone mad, every day running on the spot, waving, waving, running on spot, waving, waving. Hey, headphones on, Alanis Morissette. Is it jagged little pill, a head like a hole? The birds start to sing, but I can't make out that song. I can hear a drill echo in my head, a drill echo in my head, a drill echo in my head, a drill, drill, drill echo in my head. Endless twitching of curtains, hanging baskets and wall baskets to pass the time. Watching neighbours, finds on the spot. Hysterical, lockdown, isolation, restrictions like a Jack Nicholson sketch. Typewriter hand, writing the words. Drill, 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 drill in my head, echo in my head, drill in my head, echo in my head, drill in my head, echo in my head, every single day. It's the words, it's the play, it's Ghost Town by the Specials, over and over again like a record spin out of control. But they keep up the Dunkirk spirit, keep up the Dunkirk spirit, keep up the Dunkirk spirit. She's reading a book, I think it's something like Ladies Lover, whatever that is. Her pleasure noises wake up the silent street at 3 a.m. It's endless diet of sex, drilling and gardening, sex, drilling and gardening. It's an endless diet. I think I put the kettle on now. I have a cup of tea. It seems to keep me sane as the lunatics have taken over the asylum. She makes me write this poem as spoken words of madness. I'm not sure if this is real or a dream or illusion. Either way, I better feel her fantasies again. I cook myself another egg on toast and I read from Brian Hedman's poem, Sick of It All, Sick of It All. Blank faces stare, disposable teens zooming out through their diet cards or debit cards. Tinder will have to be on hold. Sex on hold, social media whores, wank another day, fake news, pretend friends that never really exist. It's better to be alone than have a coffee with a friend. Social distancing is my new social bitch. George Orwell on heat. Extinction Rebellion on pause. It's Brave New World and Confederate flags are waving. Confederate flags are waving. But I do miss a perm in the imperfect fresh air. To smell like teen spirit, another genocide maniac enforces lockdown, a shoot to kill policy, but I grow another flower. Yes, grow another flower is better than Donald Trump. It's better than Donald Trump on Heat. I wouldn't even date him on Tinder. The junkie screams, knocking on heaven's door, looking for a fix, the forgotten voices of liberty, drowned out by fits of hysteria, waving gun magic. Like the magicians of old, everything is repackaged, recycled, like a Star Wars pre-sequel. Nothing is original. I better tune in and tune out of the sounds of clapping for a crippled NHS, like they really care. A third world disposable nation, sinking like the Titanic, but everyone loves a sequel. Will Rose get to ride Jack's cock again?
Yeah.
I'm really disturbed by this comment.
Yeah.
Blame for Prime Minister.
I'm up for Prime Minister.
That
I'm
will
up for Prime
totally go
Minister.
to his head. He goes on about this all the time, about running the world.
I would run the world.
Do not encourage.
Don't encourage.
Leslie Queen, you would be in my cabinet.
Oh, thank you. My honor, my pleasure.
I'm going to now read one I wrote for Gabi, actually. It's called Bangladesh. This is one that might work, might not work, but I've done this a lot in street events and in schools. And I've got a kid.
And in my face.
And in your face. I've got a kid called Tommy. He was 10 years old. He's 13 now. He started up poetry because of this, because of the work I've done with him. And his kids sometimes, when I'm in the Red School, grime with me in the Red School. So it's quite cool. Even though I'm not good at griming, but I've enjoyed fun with them.
That's so wrong what I thought you said.
So it's called Bangladesh. Bangladesh in the arts of the street and endless beehives of the ending death that eats my own peanut butter. Bangladesh, Bangladesh, Bangladesh. What is Bangladesh? The black cow stares with big black deep eyes. Big black deep eyes. Big black deep eyes. Bangladesh wanting to lick me clean as if I was a strawberry ice cream on a Sunday. Bangladesh, is it some kind of game serving the guests of hot tea with pre-war lust for the taste of their little legs dripping hot wax? Bangladesh, 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 Bangladesh. Does anybody know what Bangladesh is? Anybody? No? Bangladesh, Bangladesh, Bangladesh. Wow, Bangladesh is waiting for me to eat them on a hot Sunday dinner. Oh, I lick them clean like a Sunday afternoon roast dinner. I lick my legs because it's Bangladesh. They are the nutters of the fields, these birds that fly. They die from too much Coca-Cola and pasties and dead pasties that seems to love in my front room when the English girl, this girl, Gabi Marcellus-Temple, speaks 6, 20, 40, 50, 70 different languages. It's blackness, so black, it's dark, it's a goth speaking in mystical lyrics of cats and fags in one hand, and the weird shit that the phone makes you speak in the other hand. It's Bangladesh and Bangladesh. It's Sunday like no other Bangladesh. It's a normal day called Bangladesh in Slane's place. Bangladesh with an artist, I think, called Gabi Marcellus-Temple. Say it, everybody! Bangladesh, Bangladesh, Bangladesh!
Bangladesh.
There you go. That's me.
Woohoo!
Right. So I'm putting back on this page now.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Quite loud when you're right next to it.
Yeah, it's meant to be like, it's meant to be a street performance bit, but it's soon.
Yeah, no, but it was in my face. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. Thank you so much. What have we got in the comments? Slane reminds me of the fake reporter outside Westminster, Jonathan Pye.
Yeah.
And John Cooper mix, and it's incredible. Hannah has said, wow, excellent. You really captured how it felt. I think that's your lockdown drilling poem. Veronica says, my cat loves you, Slane. She's jumped on the table trying to get closer to my laptop. She's listening intently. That's probably a reaction on the part of the animal where it wants to kill what it hears. You know. Burning the House Down. I love this one. So enjoyed your set. Great fun. Brilliant. Oh, thank you, Hannah. My special hand effects were impressive too. So glad you appreciated that. All right. So moving on.
Thank you, everybody.
How do we move on from that? We have the man who is scared that his partner eats onions like an apple in the night, which can only be Matt Thomas, the one and only star of Matt Cam. You're muted, Matt.
Hey,
Hey.
that's better. I was all prepared to unmute myself, and then I got distracted thinking about something else. Right. This first piece I wrote by stringing together a bunch of words and phrases that I found in a really thick, sort of 500-page thick comic book catalog. So if it reads like text you might find in a comic book catalog, that's why. This is called Preview. A unique reading experience. Time is running out. Heroes in crisis. As the heroes dare to escape wildly different worldviews and familiar surroundings to deliver heartwarming, dynamite, high-impact existence and a bizarre plot, mismatched fires break out, desperate measures are taken, and things begin to happen very quickly, as often happens in these situations. A suspicious local, potentially insane, ungainly, featureless, monstrous, but legendary and magical, wearing someone else's coat in a world he doesn't understand, must navigate gorgeous concept, detailed concept, epic scope, and a modern twist, while searching for answers with adventure, limited supplies, and crime fighting. Possible explanations may not be so simple in the far future of this dystopian epic saga. Meanwhile, an impressive fictional gymnast, 16 mystic legends, a tireless ambassador, all your favorite bodyguards, and weird pirates explore the universe itself under oppressive conditions they could not have imagined. After surviving the most imaginative, glittering, critically acclaimed, surprisingly sweet bunch of unannounced funny action, everything is different and their beloved leader struggles to make sense of it all. Does that sound like anyone we know? Who will erase his mind? It looks like another mystery, and they can't shake the feeling that this is all a trap. It's a trap. It's the beginning of an extraordinary, action-packed, and hilarious journey. But the good times might not last. It's almost 1953. Also, people, a merry band, hurtle towards oblivion and despair of literary proportions, which seems like it will never come. An unfamiliar world, a savage world, a new land, a legendary time, a bold new era, a chronicle of life itself, the tightly plotted, bureaucratized quest becomes unforgettable. Following a gleaming new chapter and a mysterious series of magical absurdities, 2 years of unimaginable chaos, or even 4 years of unimaginable chaos, reaches its terrible conclusion, but only if nothing goes wrong. Now then, I have not been doing much writing lately. These last few months, I will probably start to begin to be able to process what we've lived through the last year. In 10, 12 years time, I may be ready to start processing it. So, you know, we can check back then. However, I did find a few kind of interesting fragments. And so what I've done is I've thrown them together and I've added a little connective tissue, and there are probably big gaps and it probably doesn't make much sense, but I'm going to read it anyway. So Here we go. There's still a dead fly on the windowsill. It's dead fly season. It's hat and scarf season. It's wet leaves everywhere, and the pavement never dries completely, and the washing never dries completely season. And the dark shines. In the dark, there are things to listen for. The stars in Orion changing color. One goose, then many geese. A tractor grinding its way along the lane. A car following the tractor. Another car shifting down, getting ready for the long pull up Pinda Hill and the dogleg. The sound of the inside of my head. Thinking about what I think about, I realize I worry about everything. I worry about worrying. Sitting in the dark, listening to the Kinks sing about the intersection of sadness and hope in headphones and a hat, while you, upstairs, breathe heavily and twitch, weighed down by quilts and blankets and sleep. There are holes in all my socks, which is not a complaint or an appeal for sympathy, but an observation, a thing to put on the list of things to do. Buy new socks. Shopping for socks is a pain in the ass. They're too expensive, or too cheap, or too cottony, or not cottony enough, or impregnated with antifungal Agent Orange for your feet, or boring, or pink, or stupid, or decorated with embroidered angry birds. I know all this because I shopped for socks for you, because that's what you said you wanted, and it's impossible. Or you are. Here's a question. How many times in the last 8 years have you looked at me when I wasn't paying attention? I look at you like that all the time. Here's another question. Does a moth know it was a caterpillar and then nothing before it was a moth? What does it feel like to exist, then not exist, then exist again? Here's another question. Who can recognize what it means to be human? The right to unlimited data, the right to super fast download speeds, the right to a holiday in Tenerife, the right to craft beer, the right to a 50-inch, no, an 80-inch TV, flat screen with Wi-Fi, the right to walk down the street without being hassled, the right to new Adidas. Listen to the sound of outrage. Listen to our fathers and uncles as they sputter out. Summer is longer this year. Summer is longer every year. We notice this and other things as we struggle to do the right thing, as we struggle to figure out what the right thing is, as we struggle to ask and answer those questions. And we document and we curate all of this all of the time, every day. All of these discussions, all of these moments, all of this. And we'll never be able to forget any of it. When what I really want to remember is the way you hum your hands. I wish I could remember every time you looked at me. I wish I knew all the times you looked at me when I wasn't paying attention. Thank you. Now, I will. This with 3 sort of longish ones, which is a bit different for me. Usually, I read 25 really short ones. So I will wrap up with this. This I read occasionally, and this is one of those occasions. So here we go. This is called 10 Weeks. To describe things accurately can be a challenge because things don't hold still. They flutter. In a moment, everything changes. In this case, in darkness, in the pause between pauses, there isn't, then there is. Nothing becomes something. A tiny light flickers and decides to exist. Lucky chemistry, magic. It's subtle calculus, a delicate operation for such a massive undertaking. Where are the boundaries of the universe that holds the machinery needed to fashion such a transformation? Yet, it happens everywhere, all the time, the most common miracle, but no less miraculous for that, and its truth is self-evident. We're all here. There isn't, then there is. In a moment, everything changes. Meanwhile, we make coffee and park the car, check emails, tend the allotment and buy stuff. We're busy getting on with it. When we finally catch up, when we notice, the realization that everything has changed changes everything. Suddenly, there's work to do, plans to plan, things to think about, and so much it fills the air around us. Where are the boundaries of the universe that holds the machinery needed to build an architecture to contain all this feeling? To describe things accurately can be a challenge because things don't hold still. They flutter. Of course, people say it's like a roller coaster, but what do they mean? Maybe it's that jerk at the beginning when the wheels grab the ratchet and the cable starts to pull the car up the track. You feel the jolt and you can imagine what's coming. Or maybe it's the whoosh at the end when the brakes engage and the safety bar comes up. You step onto the platform and barely have time to catch your breath before queuing for the next ride. Or maybe it's all the ups and downs and twists and turns in the middle. Or maybe it's all of that at once. But then it stops, or reverses itself, or something. In a moment, everything changes. In this case, there is, then there isn't. Unlucky chemistry. To describe things accurately can be a challenge that only makes questions. Is it death? Was it life? What just happened? What do we do now? We make coffee and park the car, check emails, tend the allotment and buy stuff. We get on with it. And we say goodbye. And we do that tomorrow. Saying goodbye isn't an act, it's a process that takes forever, a process that changes everything. Thank you, everybody.
Wow.
Thank you.
It was amazing.
Yeah, beautiful.
Wonderful.
The comments have been going mad. Amazing. Yeah, amazing writing, dude. I've never found socks so fascinating. A great contemporary American poet. I would love to hear Matt and Lesley do some kind of duet. You have such similar cadence. There's been some talk over this, so Lesley's performing for us later, so there may be a collaboration in the offing there with the little queen herself. Slane's a bit weird. He said, I'm not typing. If it says Slane, it's not me, because that's not my name. So he's typing, I want to listen to recordings of Matt while I go to sleep. I don't want to be there, him to be there in person. That would be creepy. Would be a bit creepy, Matt.
You don't want me to come and read you bedtime stories, Slane?
I'd love you to read bedtime stories for me, Matt. I would love it.
Yeah,
Tuck me in with hot chocolate any day.
Hannah London has compared you to Matt Dickman, one of her favourite poets, which is a way of saying I love this. So perfectly captures what I've been experiencing too. Just wow, and what a fantastic ending.
Someone else said about
yeah, no, disturbingly, it's not just Slane that has this weird thing. Poetry by Xeno, who is also performing later, has said, I want you to read my bedtime stories, lol. Yeah, and then Slane said, thank God it's not just me.
That's great.
Amazing stuff there, Matt. You've stirred a few emotions in all of us.
Hurrah. Thanks, everybody.
And
Yeah.
up, we have a lady who we've got to know from open mic sessions based in Exeter, whose work features in our latest online anthology, which can be found at www.wonderzoo.org.
Gabi will write in a minute.
Yeah. And her name is Veronica Aaronson.
Fantastic writer, to be honest. Really brilliant, I think.
Brilliant writer. And I can see her picture. Are you here, Veronica?
Oh, sorry, forgot to switch my camera on. I am here.
Can I just say, Veronica, how extraordinary I think your writing is.
Oh, thank you, Slane.
I really
That's
love
a
your
nice
writing,
way
and I will get you a piece for your upcoming book that you're on about. So, and I think you're, I think the things you talk about are really important as well.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Well, I was sort of dreading going after Matt, who was absolutely brilliant. But I have to say, there have been so many really good poets and songs and things. I feel quite honoured to be here this evening. So I had no idea what to read, so I'm going to read some of my addiction poems later. But Chrissy mentioned the Beatles, and I'm not going to read one about them because I haven't written one about them. But this is about Cream. And for you that are too young to know about Cream, they were a band, and the drummer was called Ginger Baker. And I was lucky enough to actually have them as our local band when I was about 15, 16 growing up. And I wrote this poem because I had to interview someone, and it was like 7 o'clock in the morning, and we met in the Beachcombers in Teignmouth. And if anybody knows it, it's like a tin, not quite tin shack, but it's a very flimsy building. And that day the wind was just so high that the whole cafe shook. Anyway, so this is my first poem. It's called Cream Tea with Ginger Baker. Minutes before high tide, I'm sipping a strange brew, warming my hands on the cup, watching waves being chased by a storm. When the wind, not satisfied with shuffling brushes, banging mallets on any taut skin it can find, begins felling dustbins. A sea surge starts, a drum roll, a wave higher than you ever got on cocaine smashes its crash cymbals against the sea wall. The beach cafe rocks, takes me back to that white room, walls throbbing, floor pounding, bodies bobbing, heads banging, drumsticks working up to a crescendo. Want anything else, love? My grip loosens on the lukewarm cup. Exactly the same again, please. Okay, so that was the first one. So my second one is, Chrissy also mentioned Van Gogh. So I wrote this poem when I was having a phase of writing poems in the voices of inanimate things, and I've done masses of it. And I started this poem not knowing when Van Gogh cut his ear off. Well, not cut his ear off, cut a chunk out. But then when I looked up the painting, it was just a few months before he did this painting. And hidden in the poem are quite a lot of his paintings. So here goes. It's called Sunflower from a Still Life, after Vase with 12 Sunflowers, January 1889, Van Gogh. Severed from my roots, I don't have long to paint a portrait of this blue-smocked man, palette knife in hand. In this dark moon chamber, he darts with to and fro dragonfly frenzy, enough to unseat stars, set them spinning. Fiery stubble claws around the edge of his bandage, threatens to overheat, feed his fever, consume him. Black eyes, like crows over a wheat field in constant flight, are stark against the landscape of his face. He daubs yellow, not of sun, but nicotine, bruised skin, vile, sallow chair nursing only pipe and pouch. I search for anything to ease my disquiet in this space, bereft of warmth, bee hum, dance of breeze. What kind of man is this that turns his back towards the light, whose face doesn't follow the sun? Bit nutty. Okay, so this one I wrote ages ago, way before the Me Too movement, and it's called Crossing Boundaries. I ought to say, actually, it's about a client of mine. Crossing boundaries. He's cocksure in tight jeans, preened quiff. She's an iridescent fledgling, shimmering in her sister's silk, mother's makeup. He motions her onto the floor. They shake heads, dance chest to chest, convort like crested grebes. She knows the moves from Strictly. He's perfected them with intent, suggests they go somewhere more lively. Car stops in a deserted spot. As helpless as a finch caught by a sparrowhawk, she buttons her bill, lowers her lids, lets her imagine take flight, merges with a murmuration, ballooning in the dusking dark. Lands with a string of starlings, smells beach bark, tastes beach breath, feels the certainty of beach branch. Years later, when men begin felling beach trees, she protests, lashes out, unbuttons her beak, screeches, "Rape!" Okay, and this is probably my mildest addiction poem. I need to say I spent about 25 years working with people addicted to alcohol, so a lot of my poems come from that time, and this is one of them. It's called Embroidering. She moistens the end of the blue silk thread with saliva before pinching it between her thumb and forefinger. She holds the needle's eye against white, pushes, then pulls, makes sure the lengths are even, winds one end round her moistened finger, rolls her thumb across it, ties a knot. She's already blanket stitched the raw edges of the linen. Now she's decorating the middle in satin and cross stitch. When it's done, she'll lay it over the bruised table handed down from her grandmother. Meanwhile, sewing helps pass the time while she listens out for waking children, waits for the man of the house to return from the pig and whistle. So again, the next poem is actually to do with two clients that I had at the same time, and they even had the same Christian name. And they both had eating disorders, and both, one lived with flatmates and the other one had grown-up children that lived in the house, and so both were using public toilets. Anyway, I've written it as if it's just one person, and it's called Sparrow Thin. Sparrow Thin. Oh, I should say too, it's a mirror poem, so the second stanza is a reflection of the first. Sparrow Thin, forgive me, I just can't do this anymore. I'm stuffed so full I'm stiff like the taxidermist's bird trapped under glass. Such a grotesque object. It's what I do, who I am. I regurgitate food into gaping white bowls in public toilets like an exhausted gannet feeding its young, worn ragged by constant demands. Round and round I go. I go round and round, worn ragged by constant demands. Like an exhausted gannet feeding its young, I regurgitate food into gaping white bowls in public toilets. It's what I do, who I am, such a grotesque object. Like the taxidermist's bird trapped under glass, I'm stuffed so full I'm stiff. I just can't do this anymore. Forgive me, sparrow thin. And my last one, so some of you have heard the when I'd first written this, so I've changed it slightly, but not very much. So it's called Prayer for Michael. Because his mother's petticoat was only wide enough to shelter his twin sisters, because as he was growing up, the only male in the house was an ill-tempered bull terrier, because he never learnt the ways of the street or those who loitered there, because not feeling safe was tacked to his shadow, because a knife became his constant companion, because he was attacked and fought back, because he was given a 24-month sentence, because he was picked on in prison, because an older inmate stood up for him and he mistook the gesture as friendship, because he asked to be moved to his friend's cell, because he started to dread lights out, because he was too ashamed to tell anyone, because prison officers knew but did nothing, because his 24 months became a life sentence, because on the outside he couldn't find solid ground, because he filled his stomach daily with 2 bottles of vodka, because flashback slept in the same bed as sobriety, because he drank behind closed curtains till he blacked out, because he got used to not eating, soiling the bed, because once, when sober, he said, I looked up and the sky was so vast I was wrapped in love, and the way he tilted his head and idled over the word love opened the hearts of all those who heard, because he grew sick of being sick, because he was found with a leather belt around his neck. Okay, well, thank you for listening.
Oh, wonderful,
Wow.
wonderful. I can't even see where we are.
I'll put us back.
Brilliant.
That was
Brilliant.
amazing.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Man,
We've got some huge admiration in the comments.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
I like to close my eyes when listening to Veronica's poems. I can see them better. From Lesley, Veronica's voice is very soothing, even if the poetry is dark, but it's a perfect balance for me. Sparrow Thin's great. Oh, wow. The whole set is incredible, Veronica, but the specular poem is especially incredible. The skill and the emotional punch of it, wow. Just wow to all the set. Very powerful voice, Veronica, beautiful. That last one was deep. So,
and I'd like to say, just before we, because we've got a couple more acts, but before we get to the music one, I'd rather end with the music tonight. So, and I noticed my dear friend Pete Rowe's there. Where are you, Pete Rowe?
Oh, in Bridport. Hi.
Oh, there you are. I would like you to
it's all Christmassy.
It's all Christmassy. So, in the spirit of Christmas, please feed us one of your poems.
Oh, I might not do a Christmas one.
Sudden attack.
No, you don't have to do a Christmas one.
I need to take the hat off though to do a non.
We love you, Pete Rowe. We love you.
Let's see. I've got one I wrote this morning. I don't know if you want that.
Let's go for it.
Sounds good.
Is Chi here tonight?
She's unwell, unfortunately.
Oh, that's a shame. You sort of challenged me a little bit yesterday.
What, we need to get her out? Get her out. See if she can.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if she'd appreciate it. But anyway, no, it's another one of those poems. Okay, it's called Naiad.
Okay, brilliant.
The shape of you is as fresh and crisp as the piece of charcoal poised above my page. Your porcelain skin awash in a pool of red light. The blood in my veins hammers loudly for attention. The charcoal held like an arrow briefly before release, then grazes the clean white paper, tentative lines, gentle touches. You remain totally still. I grow bolder. My pulse quickens. I work my fingers on your breast, gently teasing shadow and form. Our eyes touch. I stop. Pause. Poised. That wink from you says, I see you watching me. You hold my gaze. I think I am blushing. I feel naked in your eye. Sure, you feel my fingers on my page, on your breasts. You smile. Daughter of the river, no sunfire could match the flame that was lit in this sun's chest. I bow my head. Thank you.
Brilliant. I will get you to rewatch that. Don't worry.
We'll let her know.
I think you'll make her day.
Xeno says amazing, very tender, romantic. So thanks for that, Pete. Lovely. Sorry, I'm reading the comments again. Tia's just messaged us to say, could she please share a poem her little cousin wrote that she just sent me?
Because in the spirit of Christmas we will. But just before we go on,
sounds like very Christmassy, happy stuff. I
before
hope you've got a dark cousin, Tia.
But before we go on, I'd just like to say that I think you have been an exceptional person that has made me laugh a lot this year, Pete. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you very much.
I appreciate people that make me laugh.
A lovely festive background. Okay, Tia, go ahead.
So it's not a Christmas poem, sorry, but it's when I say little cousin, she's actually like 30 now, but she's my little cousin. But yeah, she never reads her poetry out, and I think it's beautiful. So this is what she just sent me. Today I thought a lot, and when I got home I thought some more. I sat on my bed and scrolled and saw an acquaintance smile at the sun. I suppose it was sunny today. I saw the sky in the rush taxi, and then was swept away and thought at my desk and thought in my boss's office, thought some more in the queue for Greg's, thought about it, a capacity of 3 was a bit much. Thought about aerosol particles, thought about a killer virus, thought about accidentally killing my elderly neighbour, thought about getting back inside. Thought about home, thought about you, thought about time off, thought about me, thought about what would happen if we weren't a we, thought about home, thought about seeing my sister, thought about if I was standing a bit close when I saw my sister at her work, thought about when I'd next see my mum, thought some more about home, thought that I should probably get home. Thought about aerosols again on the journey, thought about Christmas music, thought it would be quite nice, thought about writing a poem, about thinking about what it would be like to think a little less and smile at the sun. Miss you. I'm not sure if the last line was actually just a message to me or the end of the poem, but I quite like it.
I love it.
Thank you, Tia. And so thank you to your cousin too.
I will do. She said if anyone has any feedback, she'd love to hear it. Okay. If anyone's got anything they want to write in the comments.
Beautiful, beautiful poem. So it's positive stuff going on. Okay, next up we have the one and only Lizard Queen.
Oh, the Lizard Queen. We love the Lizard Queen. Woo! Jim Morrison, eat your heart out because the Lizard Queen is better than Jim Morrison.
Oh, wow, thank you.
We bow. Pete,
yeah, let's all do it.
We bow to the lizard.
What would I do without WonderZoo? And thank you. Yeah, I've never read this poem, and I wrote it in solidarity for my students when I was a teacher at a public school in Santa Fe, New Mexico. They instituted measures that were very, I thought, unfair regarding young lovers and in the hall and not supposed to even look at each other or touch hands, and it was difficult. And so I wrote this rant. I said never read it, but one of my students memorized the damn thing, and I can't memorize anything, poems, especially my own. And she read it, and so Christina, I talked about her, I think last night, that she fashioned a vagina bag purse, which used to shock shopkeepers when she'd reach into it to get her wallet out and pay. So this one's called Young Lovers Wherever You Are. Oh, and I think I've got to do those, what are they called? Warnings, what are they called?
Trigger warning.
Trigger warnings, yeah, this one is just loaded with them, so I apologize. People know me, I'm pretty okay, I'm pretty sweet, but this one's just lets it all hang out. So, young lovers, wherever you are, kill the principal. It's dedicated to Zach De La Rocha, who was in Rage Against the Machine, band I have a lot of respect and admiration for. So here I go. This is time of decadence. This is a time we live in, dust in the lungs, burning with desire and incineration, seized with dust and desire in the lungs for the death they want from you. Don't do it, man. Stay alive for me. They cream for you, your firm young flesh, your annihilation, the mere negation, desire they Svengali you into. Your tightness, firm, unyielding, their sly thoughts bore into you, and they whine for respect. I would like your respect. Some respect here. Anything it takes to get your attention, jabbing their genitals, their index fingers wagging at your nose, twisted, crooked, fix, lemony, fresh, dried douche, foul, cave, breath, flesh-eating odor. You can't breathe. This ain't no lemon fresh spring in here. No fucking air to breathe at all, by no fucking means, by no fucking means. Kill the principal, not the girls and boys in their knots in the Nazi halls you walk with. Give up the ghosts, give them back. You know them surely. Roll over and play dead, quiet like a rabbit. Breathe in the foul air, know it. Breathe it out again. Spit, spit, exhale. Play into their hands, play with their heads. Excedrin, headache, hard play, hard. Live hard. You gotta live, man. You gotta survive for me. So not in vain, all the dead ghost dudes on for nothing, on to nothing. All the young dudes and dudettes is, you know, those shining princes and princesses I once knew. All gone, dry into fashion. Kenny, Nam, Bill on his motorcycle. 3 mics, only 2 left now. Back to sorrow, Barb to helpless theft. Eileen gone into hyper cool. Kevin along with his sisters. Sister Larry the K to cigars and guns. A federale's death for pregnant Shelley in Mexico. Not Tony with babies like Sophia Loren. Not Tony, not dead, who died. We all traveled far and short. Some who lived, my brother who fell and fell and fell into grace, but died. You know how it goes. Lived anyhow. Okay? You fucking promise me? Look into my eyes, hold my gaze. I love you all better than Jesus, man. I promise I will hold your eyes, hold your hearts in my hands, and bless your eyes and not drop the ball, not drop my gaze. Just fight for your rights, man. Paint it black, paint it red, paint it Grateful Dead at the Fillmore Day Glow. Young men, young women, young lovers, wherever you are. Kill the principal, smug behind her desk, snug in her boiled wool suit with brass buttons. Under the magazines, old issues, half forgotten, tucked into the mighty night, dreamtime churning the tissues as you sleep all night in the half light of the moon are your memories, half full, maybe stories you heard of the old ghosts, satisfied and not hungry. Satisfied ghosts with full stomachs, they ate their fill, filled their lungs of air, gnashing and chopping with pearly teeth, and life moving through, life and air moving and not hungry, having eaten, full and proud. These are the life, these are your life, follow them. Smash Mouth Tom Brokaw says, those electric fence hippies still stun and shock the mind if you touch. Don't touch, forget about it. Just a dream, a sad chapter in American history, shocking, naked, scruffy, rabble-rousers, mudsliders, but by his book, Greatest Generation Ever Lived. Yeah, all those greedy, nasty fucks, Wasucho, who had it all, took it all, raped the land, took the fat of the land, disavowed their children, exploited their children, killed their children in the holy rah-rah war, wasted it all, blood and money running through fat fingers like dry sand. How many grains of sand in the oceans and deserts? Read the book. Hair, gas, shattered teeth, mangled souls, made war for you, brought to you, must have from Nam, from Korea, must have from Cambodia, must have control, armies of missionaries, twisted cock, mind fuckers ripping out mother tongues all over the world, all around the world, young lovers, wherever you are. And who's that Christ person? Who the hell is that who oversees it all, smiling? Not him, but those who came after, the spin doctors. And he now sinister like a soul-sucking vulture on his wooden perch, cawing, cackling. Not my God in Nicaragua. Not my God in El Salvador. Not my man in Rio, the big Jefe gangster man, the dude who must have it all with his army of copycat killers everywhere, now appearing in theaters near you and all over the world, infested with the holy flesh-eating virus on that cross, their squeaky clean needs, their denials paramount, mountain of hosannas, fuck that shit. Washer women, intellectuals, miners, poets, all mother tongues united and scrambled in the heat of fevered thoughts, mangled bloody tongues cut off, talking still, incessant chatter, still in my sleep, still in my heart. Dissidents haunting the lungs. Breathe, breathe in, breathe the dust, the mighty people, small people, yours, farmers, poets, masons, wet nurses. Easing the mind, calling your heart. I hear them through the walls, calling the heart. No, no, don't go quiet into this dark night, this dark time. These are the dissident farmers that march in your mind, still in the middle of the night, in the middle of your mind, in your dreams. Working people, your people, they march calling you to arms to fight all the workers of your dreams. Your grandmothers, spinning, weaving dreams. Your grandfathers, plowmen, going back to Middle Earth, back to the beginning of time, calling you to your joy, your own freedom. Awaken, and when the fattened candy sweet dreams of too much glory, too much mind lust lull you, just say no. Light a match, kill the principal, not girls and boys in their Nazi halls you walk with. Kill the principal in her boiled wool suit with gas buttons. This is a time of darkness. Please, please for me, please for the old brothers and the old sisters, dead or not dead, for the comrades, bring in the light, light a match, kill the principal, and live for us.
No, tell her Public Enemy.
Public Enemy, eat your heart out, Lizard Queen. Eat your heart out, Public Enemy. That's all I've got to say.
Yeah.
I love Public Enemy, but Chuck D, the Lizard Queen, is replacing you.
Yeah. We've got
That was a rant, yeah.
James Ginsberg, you've been compared to Ginsberg, Gil Scott Heron, Hunter S. Thompson. all going on in the comments.
And honestly, your voice is like something from the magical heavens.
Echoes of Anne Waldman, Patti Smith, and Woody Guthrie.
Wow.
Yes.
So unique,
Yeah.
as you are. You've been compared to a lot of
Little Woody Guthrie.
Yeah.
utterly unique.
Yeah. Well, I really meant the damn thing. I'm telling you.
I've just got a text.
Feel it. Feel it.
I've just got a text from Chuck D from Puppet Amy, said he's quitting music because he can't match you whatsoever.
You got a text?
Yeah, I got a text.
On
Chuck
your
D.
mobile phone?
Yeah, Chuck D said
Your
that's
mobile
it.
phone that you
Can't
don't
compete
use.
with the Lizard Queen. He's quitting.
In all seriousness, that was amazing, Lesley. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks. I only would have read it to here. Totally. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I feel better now.
That was absolutely super epic.
You did it.
It's a whole other level to your other stuff, Lesley.
Yeah, I'm holding out. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
man, I can't let it hang out all the
Where
time.
were you hiding that one?
Huh?
I say, where were you hiding that one?
Yeah, well, no, this is like hiding in a folio because, like I said, I've never read it. I've never read it.
It was super ace. It was like something at the Viking Chronicles or something.
It was brilliant. And now we've got to get someone to follow on from that.
Yeah.
Someone who's completely new to WonderZoo, again, who responded to our open call for our open mic.
And I must say, I love the videos you've done up on your page. Brilliant.
His videos on his Facebook page are amazing. This is poetry by Xeno.
He's muted.
Are you muted? No, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
There we go. These aren't my headphones. It confused me. So I'm going to use my introduction from my book because I don't know how else to do it. So as a failing poet, I'm a fan of any old cliche. They say all's fair in love and war, but what if it was never my battle?
You've gone again.
And never met. So poetry is one of my main outlets for releasing the emotions I harboured so close. Choosing the poems that I do, I think they should come as a bit of a trigger warning because they are about mental health, depression, self-harm. So if that's going to be too much, then guys, by all means, tap out. But yeah, I hope you enjoy what I have to offer. The majority of my work doesn't have a title, and the title of my book is Untitled Note because everything on my phone saved as an untitled note. So the one I wrote most recently was fractured remnants scatter soiled ground. Bone turns to dust, no treasures ever found. A life in ruins, dreams in tatters. Another day beckons, hope like fine glass shatters. Looking up to the welcoming sky, watching grey clouds stroll nonchalantly by. A whisper lingers on your lips, a stroke of your fingertip resonates on my hips. A bead of sweat rolls down glistening skin, body scarred, burnt from the self-hate within. Let's rebuild this house, beams created from dreams. Thank you. Thank you. This one is Unaddicted Addict. There's nothing left in this bottle, and it begins to roll across the floor. As the room starts to spin, a carousel out of control, a maniacal laugh and an internal battle, you'll never win. As I long for the warmth that your sharp edge brings, a fire burning, its embers so violently, etching themselves into my skin. A silent teardrop falls with a harsh, biting sting. I miss your touch, the way you caress my arm, already cut into pieces, a jigsaw missing, another ragged edge piece, a curse that never ceases. When will these cravings ever leave me? An unaddicted addict with a demon so dark clinging to my side, a silhouette dancing to its own sadistic heartbeat. Another suicide note wrapped in a poem, its contents I'm desperately trying to hide. Do not misconstrue, I'm doing fine. Do you like this, my well-rehearsed line? Which one? Again, another untitled note. If I'm going too fast, tell me to slow down. Remember when I told you that well-rehearsed line? When I lied and said everything was fine? hiding behind tired, smoked out eyes and an empty bottle of wine. Looking at the razor's edge, please give me a sign. Too many raw emotions, I cannot repine. To eloquently portray these feelings is tough when no one wants to hear you whine. Just in case I was unclear, in these poems of mine, whether I read, write or snort that line, yeah, I'm fine. I don't normally write a set list because I don't actually know what I'm doing. Okay. So, where would I be without my crippling anxiety? When all you see on my first impression is me failing to hide my depression, collecting suicide notes like a hoarder, trying to ignore my mental health disorder. This isn't a battle I've lost or won. This is a war that rages on as the night hides the fading sun. Each day greeted by the same fake smile, every question met with hidden denial. Scars adorn my arms, tucked unabashed under my sleeve. Unhealthy coping mechanisms, my only reprieve. Apologies. I have like 2 more. Do I have time for 2 more? Yeah. Cool. So this one's Tempting Evil. My deep devil, you taught me to write. All the thoughts you control, a puppeteer pulling my strings. My darkest days are your feast, you devour and you slither, sneer and eat. Always laughing about your cold deceit, hiding from the light. Harboring my secrets, a gatekeeper without the key, only showing when I'm writing and feeling things inside that I didn't know exist so cleverly, you portray my weakness. I'm losing my grip on your reality. When the routine breaks and the drugs don't work, a coping mechanism with a faulty switch, its operators liking to shirk. How do you cope when the longing for death's embrace is all that keeps you afloat? A ship once lost in the choppy waters now run aground, slowly sinking to the murky depths below. Oh, how I'm hoping these cracks don't start to show. I need to leave. Where's my coat? And if it's okay, I'm going to finish with one that I wrote for my dad because I don't see him all that often because life's a bit shit. Where are you? Apologies, bear with me. Oh, it's there. That's why I can't find it. Okay, so this one's called Ode to My Dad. Growing up and getting old, my life is missing many a chapter, pages torn harshly from a book. But when I needed guidance, I'd look up to my father and you wasn't there. I know now it's not your fault and all that matters. I'm sorry I'm not the son you expected me to be. A poor imitation in a false spotlight. To now see the monsters bask in your warm embrace, it's too hard to see. But as I grow into this shell of a man with walls crumbling to the ground, I just wanted you to see this person I'm becoming. Dad, are you still my biggest fan? For now, a phone call is all we have, through many miles keep us apart. A ship lost in the dark, not sure which way is home. Every time I hear you say, love you, kiddo, it melts my heart. Thank you.
Xeno.
Really good, really powerful, and I really like your delivery, especially. You've got a really good voice.
Yeah,
thank you.
Fabulous in the comments, beautiful words relating to that and those demons. He's a so real and solid voice for our times.
Thank you, guys.
That was brilliant.
We'd love to have you back in the new year. If that was all right.
That'd be amazing. Thank you.
That'd be great.
Yeah, lovely, brilliant.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm going back to the background now. Bye.
All right. Thank you. Next up, we've got a quick one poem special
for our beautiful Margaret.
Our wonderful Margaret Corvid.
Hi, hopefully you can hear me. When you were looking for hello, oh dear, now I can see my face in big. So when you guys were talking about having Christmas poem, I've got one that I wrote 2 years ago. I have read at WonderZoo before. And it's just really important because it's about poverty and refugees, and UNICEF is actually feeding kids in Great Britain for the first time because of the effects of the coronavirus and how the government is managing it. And the Home Office is actually proposing having refugee camps that don't have any hot water or electricity. So this poem is called The Mass of Christ in a Time of Sundering. No ear may hear, but in this world of sin, our thumbs flick across screens, ring trolley bells and scan the fares, wheels howl in holy dens. Dead bodies washed ashore say their farewells to fishes. Cast nets to the other side, the tentacles all rotting in the trucks. Gas canisters that toss up with the tide, best wishes, cards, good tidings, and good luck. The twinkling light, cups half crushed, sleeping men curled tight, cement, car parks full up by 7. Church-packed rafters all echo with the hymn, so God imparts the blessings of his heaven. O morning stars, together, holy birth, sing Christ the King and peace to men on earth. They ask me, Mum, when are you coming back? What child is this, hard orange chair, asleep? In dreams I run past buzzing drones, attack the rusted fence pulled down, and then I leap the river. Teeth and tinsel, limbs of trees, cruel Herod, wrathful king in fear and rage. Wet papers held to light, the hum of bees, electric shock, the screams, the tearing page, the dizzy spells, the faint. No water, cuffs, the little tiny child, Lulai, Lulay, the food bank, cardboard boxes packed with stuff. Weeping with thanks, the mothers cart away their woe. Green lasers echo wings and eyes on runways. Little child, is it goodbye? O star of Bethlehem, flash white and blue, Carls pulled onto the shoulder, dirty slush up to the handles, let processions through. The shining flags, gold braid curled tightly, lush smoke, frankincense, the mayor in his chain, shaking the coins, the basket for the poor. Heavenly peace, the mothers in the rain pull jackets tight and shuffle towards the doors. O holy night, the tasers all on charge, lights green and twinkling, ready, point and pull. Wise men in saddles following the star, the Prince of Peace. Bring succor to the world, use saints before the altar, bending, watch, through holes in glass, press fingertips and touch. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Say, Margaret, I don't sort of like support any political party as an anarchist, but I do support Margaret as an individual and as a politician, because I think you do wonderful things for Plymouth.
She does.
And you're down to earth as a local councillor, and I love you loads.
Well, I'm really proud to be part of the poetry scene in this community, and thanks for all you folks do to organize it. And hope you have a good Christmas, and next year sucks a little bit less than this year.
Thank you. We have one more artist up in a minute. He's going to do some music for us. But before we get that, I'd like to introduce to everybody the idea that WonderZoo will be creating, hopefully, a future festival. Gabi, do you want to mention who that person is who's got the research job? Do you want to give her a quick shout out? She's on it.
I do want to give Caitlin a big shout, but
Yeah.
I don't want to make her speak if she doesn't want
Caitlin,
to.
are you there? Are you there, Caitlin?
Hello. Hi.
Oh,
There
this
she
is the wonderful person that absolutely applied for a research job to create a future festival in this city for literature and spoken word. And we've got to say, well done for getting the job, and we'll be speaking to you tomorrow. And she is a wonderful person who loves sloths.
I do indeed, yeah. And thank you so much for the opportunity, and just being here this evening and listening to all of you guys just read and do your music, and it's just been really beautiful. So I'm really glad to be a part of it. So thank you.
So thank you for coming on board the great family train, as we call it.
We don't call it that.
Well, I've made it, but I just thought it sounded good. But I'd like to say, just before we get into the music, that it's been a tough year, but it's also been a rewarding year, because I've met such great people like Lesley and Pete Rowe and so many others. And the thing is, you know, in March, we were like, oh my God, we're going to die. But you know what? We carried on with workshops and events online, and we've met so many fascinating and beautiful artists out there. And we've had such a great year. We've done work like in the street for Nudge Community Builders. We put on events in the street, pop-up events, and we've never stopped. And we will never stop, because at the end of the day, I'm not getting too political here, but certain governments would love for arts to end, and we'll never end.
Put the music on.
So thank you to everybody that's made WonderZoo wonderful this year. Thank you all.
Now put the music.
Oh yeah.
Have we got Alive with us, our final act?
Is he here?
I hope we have. I think I saw him.
Alive, are you there? Is he in? Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
I see you now. I see your lights.
Oh, brilliant.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hello. So
I don't know if you can hear me.
Tonight. Thank you for headlining.
All right. Now that I saw all of you, I think that I'm overdoing this one. I think I'm a bit too loud. So probably turn down the volume for you. And hopefully you'll enjoy this. Good evening, everybody. I go by the name Alive when I'm using my music to commune with people. And fingers crossed, you'll enjoy this act, which is different than what you saw until now. So let's start the tape. And this is Bad Days. Releasing pain in my soul. Get out of my way. I might hate you. Baby, leave me all day. Watch how I dance in the rain. Let me take you behind, but time will. Question always silent. From deep distress of the day, let me take you behind, but time will. Question always silent. I am the conclusion you're making and sharing that days. Thank you. This song is Surrender. Surrender now, pull in my eyes. Someday I'll see the truth. Caress your heart, forget the past. Yeah. Keep the faith in me, why do you cry? Give me a seat. I'll drink your glass, eating the dust. Yeah, surrender now, I'll be yours. Surrender now, I'll be yours. My tears is purple, I'll change a bit. Regret the day we met. I think now over here, you made my train of it. Yeah, surrender now, I'll be yours. Surrender now, I'll be yours. Surrender now, surrender now, I'll be yours. Thank you. Now, let's have a black day. Justify my acts, forget all the details. It's just blacker than a sand. Hide back and resist cry. The sky is not very deep.
I lost them and missing seed. Losing my senses, replacing my lessons, riding the wild, chasing your siblings, standing up and scream. Nothing now till the fear hold me. Meet me there with a passion in mind. Tell me so, nasty stories with man and woman in love. Wishing desire to have the besides me, love me like never, me and the falling between. Black day, black day, black day, black day. Never look back at each other. Tell me now what you want to me now. Never look back at each other. Tell me now what you want to me now. Black day, black day, black day, black day, black day. All right, thank you.
Let's say we worship you.
And for the soft part, I can't hear you very well, but this is more like. I remember all the good times when we spent together in the moon. We were close like birds and lovers. We were so much loving one another. I remember our first kiss. We were sitting there and swearing love forever in the moonlight. Was to us very kind, everywhere were just loving lovers. I remember when you touched me, my heart stopped for a longer hour. I was happy little friends, all our friends universe. What was when you hold my I remember when you left me in all this home, out over the station. From the first moment I knew that you here we are after the day, like two stranger faces. don't feel nothing to you like anybody. I can see that I'll be brave, my friendly girl. I can swear on the line. Thank you. And now let's trust the voice divine. It's not hard to say, and it's life for all of us, confiding the same. Simple mind can understand, the strangers don't feel the same. And life for all of us is not hard to say. Well, and this life for all of us, confiding the same. Money enough to keep the pain, lose the faith in a spirit of love. My love is for the one lonely spirit in the glow of the moon. Trusted voice divine. And good life for all of us, coming from wrong side. And good life for all of us, running through the night. Say your purpose in my heart, wrote it down under the light, trust the voice divine. Trust the voice divine. Thank you. And we've got the song. The song is Alone. to say, I really don't care, as long as you're around. Oh yeah. Here, maybe it was my fault. I did this with love, watching you inside for a little while. Sending you that kiss, I tried to tell you this, I'm still here for you. I'm looking into my eyes, when I see the light in a dark room, feeling soft and high. Let me realize loneliness inside, but it's now or else a blind, suffering alive all the time. Did I see desire? Now look into my eyes, there's a wind comes by, it just makes the words. Maybe you'll agree, these are songs set free, there ain't no surprise. Don't you see we die? Let me give you realize loneliness inside. Fight it now or else stay blind. Suffering in life all the time. Tell us to desire. Oh, yeah. Let me give you realize loneliness inside. Find it now or else stay blind. Suffering and life all the time. Tell us to desire love. Oh yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful.
All right. And this one is Secret Silence.
Can we?
Feel the silence, they might not be precious feeling hiding through my secret smile about something deep inside my unlife process. Somewhere in the hopeless land I was living, don't know if I will. I don't claim just something. I'm goodbye, I am nothing. I don't say just something. I'm Famous judging our freedom, innocent for empty loaded, body pleasure is the routine. Life is nonsense, make us feel it I have enough of happiness, I concentrate no more. It's such sweet life on the earth, we didn't know the way. Had enough of happiness, I concentrate no more. It's a feeling on the earth, we didn't know the way. Oh yeah. Now, I don't claim to know something. Time goes by, I am nothing. I don't claim to know something. Time goes by, I am nothing. I don't claim to know something. Time goes by, I am nothing. I don't claim to know something. Time goes by, I am nothing. Secret silence. Oh yeah. Secret silence. Secret silence. Secret silence. Secret silence. Oh yeah. And tomorrow and we're done. This one is without you and the last one will be
Thank you
Run
very
to the Sun.
much.
But no, without you I can't be here, so stay.
The last one, folks, the last
Hey, hey. Let me see dancing. Without you, the day is too long. Life seems to me very sad. While you had to be too grown, I'm always strong. You're so big, I hope you're here. All my praise, anyone to see my face. I wanna look inside my heart. I want to see the joy in my soul there. Oh yeah! For my life is down, 'cause I have no more love. Come on, be here now. All I want is control. Yeah. Oh. Anything you're asking me now, I'll deliver like I do my craft. In the end, I wanna have a good beauty forever. I hope you'll hear all my prayers, and you'll want to see my face. I wanna look inside my heart. I want to see the joy in my soul. come on, love, come on, baby, here now. All I want is let you.
Thank you. And now, for the last one, let's run to the sun.
I wanna be so close to you, you never want to know. I think about my little later, ain't never gonna think I will be very soon. I pray you roll my heart to land, be going to your home. I smile to the sun, and I wish that he'll be. And I'm glad I will have mercy in you, in your way, in my running day. Something I see in your heart now, it is for me. I wanna be so close to you, you'll never want to know. Oh yeah. To the sun, and I wish that he'll be mine. Well, I could be, I know that it will have mercy in you, in a way, in my running days. It's something I see in your heart now, it is for me. I wanna be so close to you, you'll never want to know. Right to the sky, right to the sky.
All right, thank you. That's it for tonight from Alive. I hope you all enjoyed it.
Wonderful. Thank you for headlining tonight. And I gotta say, I was up there with Kathleen there, dancing like mad, like we were at some rave. I love the fact you always have a glow stick on you. And I gotta say, Pete wrote "Loving the Viking," getting into the spirit of it as well. And what WonderZoo of the year? I mean, we couldn't have asked for anything better really than a bit of electro music.
I hope it wasn't too different than what you expected.
We always like to incorporate the word whatever that takes, And I love the fact that it looks like Glastonbury in a garage with so much equipment. It's unreal. Do you know what I mean?
All right. At least the lights were in the Christmas spirit, so.
Oh, I love the lights. Absolutely. Catherine, do you want to say anything? Because you were up there with the glow sticks. I think you should say a couple of words.
That was amazing. I loved every minute of that. I thought that was your house. I was like, that's such a cool house.
Oh, that's the garage. That's the garage.
Wow. Oh, you could just go in there when you want a bit of time to have a boogie and stuff. And I really enjoyed your set. And yeah, thank you. It's good.
Thank you.
And Pete Rowe, because he came as the Viking. What a few words from you, maybe?
Well, I'm loving. I love this music. I want to link to it. I want some stuff. I want some music. I want to keep it.
You got anything?
There is something on the Spotify and YouTube if you wanna look.
What we'll do tomorrow is we'll put up something linked to Live's music, and then people can get something from there. Because I want some of Live's music, because I think you're fab, and I've wanted you on for a couple of years now, haven't I? So I'm really glad to finally got you on board. And when we eventually get a festival in the city, you've got to be on board, because I can imagine me and Caitlin there dancing with her glow sticks with mad heads, and I love your ears. I've got to say, it's just, I think it's something to do with the sloths. I'm not sure. I mean,
how she attracts.
It's a sloth! Oh my God! It's a sloth! And I'd just like to say to everybody tonight that's performed, I know there's only a few of us left, but wonderful evening. And as you know, WonderZoo defies everything. We do not follow the rules, and we like to always, when you think you tag us, we change those rules. That's what we're about. You know, because at the end of the day, word can take hip hop, it can take Bob Dylan, it can take Shakespeare. There's no real rule to what words take, is there? Let's face it, words take all types of shape. And that's what WonderZoo is about, and it always has been.
It's brilliant. Well, I'm glad I could join you, even if it was rather late. So that was good.
Pete, just you being here always.
I've been jet setting around the world tonight. Yeovil and Plymouth tonight. So hey.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh.
And the beautiful Lizard Queen. Lizard Queen, I worship you.
Oh, I know.
I know you worship her too, Pete Rose.
I do, yes.
I've seen him bow down.
Thank you.
And Tia, wonderful songs tonight. Thank you. Wonderful songs.
I go and stand outside the door till she lets me in and makes me tea.
And I've got to say to all of the new people that are performing for us tonight, thank you, everybody. Fantastic evening.
Wonderful
evening. Performances. Yeah. And what a laugh. And I don't normally drink, but I've had quite a few beers and I've enjoyed it, actually. But,
we'll play him the recording.
Yeah. I say, I love my mask. There's my mask. African mask. Join in tonight. So, yeah, what a great evening it's been. Yesterday with Tim King. I'd like to give a shout out to Tim King, who does Forsaken the Mic every Monday. Bit like WonderZoo. I think Tim King, WonderZoo, I've been making things happen all the way through the lockdown, and we haven't stopped. So I know Tim King's not here, but I think he's a hero as well. So that's what I've got to say.
Absolutely.
Any last words, Gabby?
Not before you kill me.
All right. So have a beautiful holidays, whatever it is you holiday in. I don't personally do Christmas, but if you like Santa Claus, then that's fine. Love you all and have a great holiday, and I'll see you in the new year. Lots of love, man. Peace and love.
Yes, mate.
Bye.
Yes, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.